Welcome to the morning show on WRCO. We're in the studios to talk about a great event coming up here on Thursday, November 7th at the Nazarene Outreach Center in Richland Center. Celebrate Recovery and its 34th anniversary celebration. In the studio with us today, Tom and Laura Gazinski with Celebrate Recovery as they talk about the upcoming event. So 34 years, that's pretty special, Laura.
Yeah, I mean, for us, it's only been 5.5 years, but the organization Celebrate Recovery started in 1991, and it's spread internationally and has impacted millions of lives in that time.
How long has it been here in Richland Center then, Tom?
Since 2019.
Okay.
And we've both been involved since the very beginning of the ministry here.
Okay, great. And why did you get involved, Tom?
I got involved because my pastor, I'll back up a step here. I married Laura and moved down to Richland Center to Muscoda in 2018, and we started attending Grace Community Church. Pastor Leland approached me in the spring of 2019, asking me and two other gentlemen to start the Celebrate Recovery program at the church. And I thought that was great. It was a chance for me as a retired guy with a recent degree in counseling and licensed by the state that I could fix everybody. I didn't have any problems myself. And boy, was I wrong.
Yeah.
Not that I could fix anybody. First off, I can't fix anybody, but I have issues myself, just like we all have issues, and we don't want to admit we have issues. So, one of my issues just off the bat is alcohol. I've been dealing with alcohol for many decades, and something I just denied and denied and denied until I finally started listening to God to move me in that area. And there's been other areas, and we all have our own individual stories.
Yeah, because when I think of Celebrate Recovery, I go right to alcohol, but it's much more than that, isn't it?
It is, yeah. Internationally, 30% of participants in Celebrate Recovery deal with substance use issues, whether it's alcohol or drugs. But 100% of us have hurts in our lives, whether that's abuse as a child, whether that's gambling, anger, anxiety, whatever it might be. We all have issues, and those issues affect how we deal with other people and how we deal with ourselves. And we're hurt. We're all hurting people, and God wants us to heal us from all of those issues. And that's what part of what Celebrate Recovery is about, is getting that healing for each one of us individually.
Laura, can you tell us a little bit about your story?
Yeah, so once again, they asked Tom to get involved, and they're looking around going, we need a woman. And I'm sitting over here going, I look like a woman to me, and so once again, it was like, okay, yeah, I want to be involved in this. I have issues in my life, and, my primary issues, I have mental health issues, codependency, and I've had some trauma in my life, and other times in my life when I have tried to reach out to people for help, they've said, no, you're fine. And so I've never been able to receive help, really, and to have a community come around me and Celebrate Recovery. One of the joys of it is that we're a safe community of people in recovery. We walk in the door, and the awesomeness about it is if you walk in the door, you're saying, yeah, I'm broken too. So it's okay to be broken. It's okay to have issues. It's okay to say, I need help. And then you're surrounded by people who are there, to love on you and to walk us through the principles of Celebrate Recovery, which are based on the Beatitudes, that help us to move from denial of our problem to all the way coming through to being able to share and help others, who have problems. And most of us have been hurt.
Just the title, though, the first word, celebrate,
right, yes.
Right there,
Yes. Right.
So we celebrate everybody's recovery. It's not that we hide ourselves, although Celebrate Recovery is a confidential program, but we celebrate. We have a chip name, much like other organizations have, and we celebrate someone's first step through the door. We celebrate 30 days of sobriety of whatever their issue is, 60, 90 days, however long they've been in recovery. So we celebrate each other. We don't try to hide it and saying, no, I don't have any problems. We just celebrate because everyone's making positive movement forward.
And the awesomeness, the word recovery is in there, is the other programs that are around there to help people who, whether it's AA, NA, OA, I assume Gamblers Anonymous is GI, I don't know, but, their focus is on sobriety. And Celebrate Recovery, obviously, sobriety is the starting point, but we need healing from the issues in our life. Or, it's just really easy. It's like, okay, so I'll stop doing, so let's say that I'll stop being controlling, and all of a sudden I get stressed out and I'm doing tons of online shopping. Okay, so you switch your area of addiction or your unhealthy coping skills to a different unhealthy coping skill. And our goal in Celebrate Recovery and what God is doing there is He's bringing deep inner healing to people through Celebrate Recovery. And that's been the miracle in our lives. Yes. And over 7 million people worldwide have gone through the intensive 12-step program that takes 9 months to a year to go through. And you come out of that going, wow, I'm not done recovering, but I am in a totally different place than I was before. So, yeah.
One of the biggest things to overcome, I'm sure, Tom, is guilt, right?
Yes,
and maybe
definitely.
Some shame and things like that.
Right, exactly. So that's not what God wants us to have. God wants us to be free. He sent His Son here to pay the price for our sins, to take all those burdens from us. So we're all carrying around backpacks full of rocks. And those rocks are the issues we deal with. And how smart is that, carrying around a backpack full of rocks? Mm-hmm. So Christ wants to take that backpack off of us and take that burden on Himself so that we can be free of our issues, and so that we can learn how to deal with our issues and then come alongside, like Laura said just a few minutes ago, and help someone else who's in the same position then that we have been.
It's interesting that you mention guilt and shame, because guilt, shame, and fear ruled my life until Celebrate Recovery. So I'm talking 50 plus years of the decisions I made were bad, and because they were based out of guilt and shame and fear. And it's such an incredible thing to be free from that and be able to make healthy decisions.
We all probably have some relapses, though. I mean, once you step in the door, it doesn't mean that you're just totally going to never have any setbacks again, right?
Totally. And, when someone has a lapse, for instance, okay, so if I'm free from alcohol, and if I lapse and go back to the drinking alcohol again, the people in Celebrate Recovery don't say, you screwed up. What they say is, hey, let's talk about this. We're here to help and support you and get you back on track. So we're very supportive of people, because we know that people are going to lapse or relapse. Lapse is a one-time thing. Relapse is returning to an old habit to recontinue it in your life. And so it's about the healing process. And so if you trip and fall, you don't stay lying on the ground, but you have a brother or a sister come and pick you up and help you back on the path.
Yeah. So it's important to celebrate recovery then, right?
Yes. Right.
Yes, it is, which is why we're having this anniversary celebration, this big chili feed we put on with, I think there's 4 or 5 different kinds of chili and desserts and all the fixings. Yeah, so absolutely. So it's going to be wonderful. And it's the free will offering for it goes to the Celebrate Recovery Christmas celebration in Haiti. And for the 4 different recovery centers that they have in Haiti, that comes up to be $6,000. And you kind of go, well, why would you spend $6,000 on Christmas? Well, in Haiti, I can't imagine the destruction and despair there. If you watch the news at all, you would know that besides all the problems from the earthquake in 2010 and the hurricanes, there was the horrible gang violence again this year, where people have just been, the price of everything has gone up. There was not food available. So their Christmas celebrations, they open it up to anybody that can reach them by walking. anybody that can come there, and they have food for everybody, and they have gifts for everybody. So in this area where there is so much hopelessness, they bring so much hope, and they celebrate. They bring that celebration in, and trying to bring that light into a place that is struggling so much.
You're going to have a special speaker there that night. Can you tell us about Deb Runge?
Yeah, so Deb Runge is from Sheboygan, Wisconsin, and she has a very long story. She has a book, Recover Your Mission, and I'll let her, obviously she'll be talking at it, but her basic story is that she was an alcoholic from Sheboygan, Wisconsin, and she finally, she went to AA, she went to CR, and long story short, she started going on short-term missions to Haiti in 1998. In 2010, she was on the ground at the epicenter when the earthquake hit.
Oh.
And God really spoke to her through that, and he said, you need to be here full-time. And so 2015, she started her full-time missionary work in Haiti and brought Celebrate Recovery to Haiti, because if there is a place that needs hope, help, and healing, which is one of the states, we bring hope, help, and healing for hurts, hang-ups, and habits. And there are hurts in Haiti. And so she brought Celebrate Recovery to Haiti. And she's she stands out in a crowd over there. She's this short, very blonde, very white woman.
I like the co-title of her book. Could you share that?
Yes. So her book is Recover Your Mission: How a Drunk from Wisconsin Became a Missionary in Haiti. And as you were to read through her book, you would see that, when you're a drunk or, trapped in anything. When I was trapped in my shame, guilt, and fear, I felt trapped. It was like, how could I have a mission? How could I have a purpose? And so for God to be able to take her from being a drunk with no vision of the future, actually very suicidal, and to take her to being a missionary in Haiti is a phenomenal thing. And awesome things are going on in Haiti now. She has an incredible team on the ground in Haiti. Like right now, things are so dangerous, they will not allow her to be back in the country right now, because they couldn't keep her safe, and she could put the spotlight on Celebrate Recovery in Haiti for more problems from the gangs. And so she is here in the United States doing fundraising and obviously communicating with them on a very regular basis.
There's proof there, Tom, that lots of times there's a reason that we're still around,
Oh, exactly.
When we go through what we do, there's a reason. She's obviously on a very important mission now.
Right, exactly. And, that same applies to each one of us, because I may think that what I've done in the past, God can never forgive me. But the truth is that he can, and he has, through his son and what Jesus did on the cross for us. And so he takes us with our brokenness, and he heals us so that we can go ahead and we have our own missions. Like Deb went down to Haiti. That's her mission. Our mission is for Celebrate Recovery here. Part of my mission is going into the jail here, is going into the Department of Corrections and working in the prison system. That's part of my mission now. So God calls us each to mission, uses us just as we are. And that's a great thing. He'll take our brokenness, and he'll use it to his glory.
Why is Celebrate Recovery different than some of the other recovery programs?
Okay, Celebrate Recovery, and first off, I'm going to say that all the other recovery programs are fantastic. They've been in existence longer than Celebrate Recovery has, and so I'm saying there's a place for all those types of for all those recovery programs. Celebrate Recovery starts with either sobriety or people wanting to get sober, and then moves forward working on the individual's recovery, so that the individual can start digging into their own background and find out the issues that led them to do my drinking, my low self-esteem, and move forward from there. So it's helping people move forward in their lives. Yes, did I have an alcohol problem? I certainly did. Do I focus on that? No. I focus forward. I look back on my alcohol, and I learn lessons from the past, and I use those moving forward so that when I come alongside of someone who deals with alcohol issues, I can talk to him about that and what Christ has done in my life.
You've been there and done that, in other words.
Exactly.
Right.
And got the T-shirt to prove it.
Yeah, you Celebrate Recovery. He's wearing it proud.
And so one of the things that Tom said reminded me, so another difference is how we introduce ourselves. So I will do my Celebrate Recovery introduction. So my name is Laura. I'm a grateful believer that struggles with trauma, codependency, and mental health issues. My identity is not my issues. And that's the problem, is we can get, if I think of myself as someone who is always going to struggle with trauma, how can I move forward? Whereas my identity is who Jesus says who I am. And I struggle with these different things. And so that's how one of the ways that Celebrate Recovery is different is just how we introduce ourselves, which is a major difference, because that's not my identity. You know, it was, but it's not my identity anymore. Another thing is that we've mentioned this before, we're an umbrella recovery program. We're open to everybody, including people with mental health and chronic health issues. You know, according to the CDC, 50% of Americans will experience some sort of mental health issue in their lifetime. And as someone who struggles with mental health, I can tell you that can be a very lonely place, because people don't understand. You can get platitudes from people, you can be ignored by people, but to be embraced and accepted is a wonderful thing. And we understand in Celebrate Recovery that, you know, I come in with, so bipolar disorder is one of my mental health issues. Okay, attending Celebrate Recovery is not going to heal my bipolar disorder. No, it's not going to do that. I'm grateful for medication, and I'm grateful that working the program helps me to manage my mental health issues. So whether that mental health issue is anxiety, depression, you know, there's lots of mental health issues. You know, Celebrate Recovery isn't we're not saying, oh, come here and we'll make y'all better. We're saying we're going to help you be the best person you can be within this issue. And same with chronic health issues. I've struggled with long COVID for 4.5 years. It kept me pretty bedridden for 1.5 years. And so it still has had a major impact on my life. And so being in a place where I'm getting support for that also, you know, so whatever chronic health issue, you know, not to mention the other ones we've mentioned, you know, anger, you know, betrayal. There's just so many things in our lives that we struggle with. And so all of those, Celebrate Recovery is for everyone who struggles or feels stuck or alone.
If somebody is listening and is interested in the program, tell us about where you meet, when you meet, and how often.
So we meet at the Nazarene Outreach Center, which is across from the Family Dollar on South Main Street, on Thursday nights. Doors open 5:15, 5:30. We either have a meal or snacks. And then at 6 o'clock, we kick off the large group meeting. That starts with worship and prayer. And then we go into either a teaching or a testimony. Celebrate Recovery has a year-long teaching cycle. We're just completing now. That's part of the reason why we're doing the 34th anniversary celebration. Not that we've been there 34 years, Celebrate Recovery has, but we're starting our teaching cycle again. And I'll be teaching later on in November about denial, about how we don't admit that we have problems, so we're in denial about them. So that's part of the large group. And then we break down into gender-specific open share groups, where we talk about how I will talk about how my recovery is going that past week, whether I've had successes, which are great, whether I've had failures. People are there to support me. That's another thing about Celebrate Recovery, is that people are there to support you. And we encourage, in fact, that's part of the DNA of Celebrate Recovery, is that it's gender specific, so that I won't come alongside of a woman who's there and support her. That's Laura's job, and vice versa. She won't come alongside of a man. So we close up with open share group, and then after that, we have more fellowship time, and of course getting the fellowship hall back in order. So that's a typical Thursday night for us.
Right, and we are a ministry of Grace Community Church, and so grateful for their sponsorship, their support, and we're also grateful to Pastor Jonathan at the Nazarene Church, because they allow us to use the building. And Grace Community Church, of course, would allow us to meet out at Grace, but if you know the location by the fairground, that is not centrally located. And so the Nazarene Church has very wonderfully opened the doors so we could be centrally located in downtown Richland Center.
The other burning question I have is, you're going to be serving some chili. Any secrets or anything about the recipe you're going to let us in on?
Well, so there's going to be at least 4 different kinds. Like mine is not a typical chili at all. I don't like typical chili, so mine's the kind with chicken and andouille sausage and black beans and all sorts of fun stuff in
Cream
it.
cheese.
And cream cheese and
very hearty.
Yes.
Yeah,
Right. Yes.
And so we're not the only ones doing the chili. There's
Right.
going to be 3 or 4 other families or members going to be providing chili, so it's going to be a wide variety.
And that'll be coming up on the 7th of
On the
November.
7th. Yes, correct.
And it won't be a typical meeting that night then, right?
No.
Or it'll just be
Go ahead.
celebration?
Right, exactly, because a typical meeting, the open share group wouldn't be open to the public, because that's where we share what's going on with our week. What is always open to the public is the large group meeting. And so we'll do a very so what we'll be doing is we'll have Deb Runge will be talking and answering questions. She will have handmade crafts and jewelry from Haiti to support some of the different families from Haiti. And we'll be sharing on just giving a little information about Celebrate Recovery. We'll have a couple short testimonies from a couple of the members in Celebrate Recovery Richland Center and how God has used it to impact their lives. I believe we're going to start off with a song. Should have brought the agenda, but that's basically it. So we'll start with eating, all right? So if people show up, 5:30, 5:40, 5:45, the food will be available, and but from 6 to 8, we'll be holding the program.
Right. And part of the program is we have a couple of our members who have developed what's called mini testimonies, a very brief 3 to 5 minute synopsis of where they were in their life, how Christ has healed them, how Celebrate Recovery has impacted them, and how they're going forward now. So there are going to be a couple of those going on.
Yeah, and so some basic information. Obviously, we can only give so much information here, and then Deb is going to have at least an hour of the time to be able to talk about how she got from being a drunk in Wisconsin to Haiti, and what's going on in Haiti right now, and the kind of help that's needed in Haiti right now. So if someone's listening and they go, well, I don't really care about Celebrate Recovery, come. Come for the chili, come to find out about Haiti. I know a lot of people in this area really have a heart for Haiti, and really encouraging those people to come and find out what's going on in Haiti. Get that, like I said, Deb talks with people in Haiti constantly and keeping them informed. And once again, the fundraising to keep life happening in Haiti there.
Indeed. Well, thanks for what you do. And as I think about it, probably the toughest step is the first step to attend a meeting, right?
Right,
Just to get
exactly.
there, right, Tom?
And there's folks who may be able to drive to the parking lot, but getting out of the car and walking in the door can be difficult. And so usually folks contact us in advance asking questions, and we will say, hey, when you get here, text us. We'll be happy to come out to your car and walk in with you so that you know someone right away. And so, yeah, everyone is welcome for there. But, yeah, difficult in the first step in. But once you're there, we just love on you.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Anything else you'd like to add here this morning?
Yeah, just if they want more information on Deb, it's recoveryourmission.org. And we're on Facebook at Celebrate Recovery Richland Center Facebook. And general information is celebraterecovery.com.
And I know we read those announcements about your meetings on Thursday nights
Yes.
on our community calendar. So it's good to learn more about what we're reading about here.
Yes.
So,
Well, thanks for having us.
Yes.
yeah, no problem. And good luck with your mission. And we hope a lot of people will show up on November 7th.
That's
Yes.
right. That's
Okay.
right. We got lots of room and lots of chili.
Awesome. Tom and Laura Gazinski with Celebrate Recovery joining us here on this part of the morning show.